Welcome to the check-in.
Welcome to the check-in. We're back.
To the check-in.
We back.
Okay.
So, since we're back, y'all already know what it is. Sometimes we cuss. But that's okay. Just pretend like we're not. You'll be fine.
Just pretend.
Okay?
We're also not mental health professionals. I know it sounds like we know a lot, but we don't.
What?
So if you need to talk to somebody, text HOME to 741-741 or NAMI
Yes.
to 74174. That's NAMI. And a trained professional will text you back.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this content.
Get into this content.
Hey. I start running away. I'm like, oh, do you need a map? Because
It's like, I got it. I'll guide.
You're going the wrong way. Oh, sorry. That's not good enough. So you should look at him and his little perch. He's a little cutie. Little cutie patootie.
Little cutie patootie.
All right, so should we start? Because...
Mother freaking just start. That's that type of segue.
Well... Hi.
Good afternoon, darling.
I'm Paul. Welcome to the check-in. Oh, we already did shit. Okay.
Madam.
Yeah.
How you doing, friend?
I'm doing... Oh, you're asking me already? Okay. Well, I woke up today. The sun is shining. There's breath in my body.
Amen.
Isn't that what people say? That dumb shit that people say when they're happy?
Oh. Are you happy?
What's that? Just kidding. Hi. I'm happy. I'm doing great today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's just, I woke up and I got myself together, went downstairs, smells like old bananas. It's okay. Don't worry about that, guys. I got that figured out. But I lit an incense and then my roommate was like, oh no, I made too big of a waffle. And so I'm just looking at my roommate like, damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But my roommate was very adamant about me helping solve this situation, even though I was like, I don't really do a whole lot of carbs for breakfast.
Very adamant is a strange way to say I openly
Oh, were you there?
Yeah.
You were there? Because I thought this was my story.
Bitch.
Anyways, so like I was saying, I, being the good-natured human that I am, was like, let me help my roommate. So I ate a square, and then I ate another square because I was like, wow, she's definitely having to just get through this turkey bacon that she doesn't even like. And even though I've made a full protein shake for myself, I made sure to eat those 2 pieces. So I did charity work this morning.
That's crazy.
Yeah. How was your morning? Great. Cool. Moving on.
I'm sure they were good. That charity helped you out.
Well, yeah, sure. There's nothing like, when you do charity work, guys, it's healing from the inside. It doesn't give you gas at all.
Charity work.
Nah, a lot of gas.
You wanted it. Anyway.
I wanted gas.
Yes.
I wanted to embarrass myself in front of our audio engineer by tooting.
You saw me put chia seeds in flax seeds.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I did not, because that's your breakfast, and I was not going to partake. But I did.
Because you wanted it.
I did not.
You wanted it in
Consent
your mouth.
is not a thing in this house.
You wanted it in your mouth.
Anyway, we're here to talk about something very, very near and dear to our hearts.
Oh my God, yeah. You speak so well.
Thank you.
Are you black?
No.
Wow, I knew it.
I'm 16% Spanish and 2% Indian. Like from India, not Native American. Yeah, but like not Spanish, like south of the border, Spanish from Spain.
That's crazy.
So
I'm 2.5% European.
Wow.
Germany, to be exact.
So, oh, wow.
Yep. That's, I hope.
German.
Yeah.
Wow, how problematic. Anyway, so moving on.
We are talking about being blackish.
Yeah.
And what that means.
It's like you're black, but you're not black enough for your black friends.
Yeah, it's a little bit controversial, you know.
So I think I mean, I think a lot of people have had this experience, especially if
You're not black.
no, madam. Especially if you're, I guess, middle class.
Yeah.
I think that demographic gets hit with this type of issue or experience a lot more often than some other demographics. But let me ask you, friend.
Yeah.
What was your earliest memory of experiencing, being around a group of beautifully melanated people who looked at you and went, ooh, okay, Twinkie. Okay, Oreo.
Bro. So my first experiences with that commentary actually came from my family. I have half my family is like fresh off the boat African. The other half is very, very, very southern country from South Carolina. So when I'm around my cousins, they always were just like, why do you talk so funny? You're a white girl. And I'm just like, that's weird. Why do you talk so funny? You are from not on my coast, so you talk you got a little bit of slang to your twang.
Yeah.
So, I just always hit them with the passive aggressiveness, but it did bother me when I was younger because people like would make fun of the way I talk, and I didn't understand why. Like I still don't think I code switch, and I didn't back then. I just talked.
Yeah.
So I felt like people weren't accepting me in my natural state, and that was really, it's kind of messing with me because I was just like, wow, am I hanging out with too many white kids? Like, do I have too many white friends? Like, is it spilling over into me? Like, but what does that mean? Like, why is there such thing as speaking white?
So it's funny that you said that because both my parents are military. My dad was Army, my mom was Navy. How they made that work for the few years that they did is beyond me. But hey, my brother and I spent a lot of time at grandma's. But we were around a lot of white people when we were growing up. Especially before we came back to the continental United States, we were in a small island called Kwajalein. It's a Marshall Island. It's near Hawaii. So I think we were there for a year.
That's fun. I didn't know that about you.
Surprise! And on that island, like you can. The biggest thing you can see from the island is the airport. You can just see like one huge runway and that's it. It was a tiny, tiny, tiny island.
Okay.
But almost everybody there was white.
Okay.
So when my brother and I actually came to the continental United States, we were more inclined to play with other white kids on the playground because that's what we were used to seeing. And so I think somebody made commentary to my mom like, oh, your kids are racist. They're not playing with other black children. And it's just like, we don't know what racist is. We just know we're familiar with that child because that looks like what we used to play with. And so we're going to go over there and play.
Wow.
But that didn't, obviously I have this story from my mom, but I didn't really... Like, it didn't register anything for either of us. And my mom was an educator, so it was very important to her that we spoke, proper English, not, AAVE. Like, proper grammar, all of that. And my brother and I would still go to my grandmother's house for the summer. She lived in Louisiana. Homa, shout out Gray, shout out Linda and Av. But she would make us go to the summer camp. That was the last time I think I went to my grandma's because the summer camp was awful. All the kids down there made fun of us. And y'all know, like a Louisiana accent, that is a very distinct accent.
NOLA okay. Yeah.
So when you're going down there and you're talking like you're from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Very proper very private school.
But I mean, it's not like a Boston accent. Like, it's not goofy.
It was goofy to them. And my brother and I got...
No offense to anybody from Boston.
We got alienated. The only friend I had at that whole summer camp was a teacher. Like, the kids wouldn't play with me. They kept calling me stupid because of the way that I talked. And it was weird because I kept thinking, I'm speaking the quote unquote proper English. Like, I'm speaking the more widely accepted version of English, but y'all are making fun of me. So after that, I think my brother and I told our mom that we just didn't have a good time. And she didn't send us back because my grandmother, she was a teacher as well. So I think it was helpful for her for us to be at that camp. But those kids were mean to us. So I remember playing in the dirt by myself. Almost that whole summer camp, because those kids, I would try to talk to them and they'd be like, why you say your words like that?
I'll just stay quiet.
That's
then.
how I was taught to speak.
I mean,
why do you say your words the way you say them?
Like, why is it that big of a deal?
I didn't get it, but every day those kids made fun of us.
Was it just the way you guys talked, or was it like, because me, I don't know, my cousins would be like, it's the way you talk, it's the way you act, it's the music you listen to, and I'm just like, Paramore fucking slaps. Like, I have good taste in music. The fuck? Why are you coming for me? Like, you don't like Linkin Park? You're weird.
So I think that was still back in the day where music wasn't as universal as it is now.
Okay.
So a lot of that, that was what they're listening to, and they're looking at us like, "What? You don't know that song?"
What was that again?
We're like, "No."
What was that?
I was like, "I don't know these songs."
Yeah. Jamone? Oh, okay.
So. But they played that one song, "Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul." I was like, I know this one.
Oh, no.
I wasn't singing it. I knew better than that because I was already have been made fun of for like 3 weeks. So I sang it in my heart. But there were a lot of regional songs specific to Louisiana and NOLA that my brother and I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, and I think we were still both elementary school at the time. So we were pretty young. And like I said, back in the day, like, you knew your songs on the East Coast, and if you was on the West Coast, you had a different lineup of songs that you heard. Like, in the South, like, everybody still had their regional music without too much crossover.
Yeah.
So, nope, it was just the way that we talked. I mean, we looked as black as any other black child. I mean, I had my Alicia Keys braids, and my brother has a very deep skin tone, so it's not like,
I like that deep skin tone.
Yeah, deep. So it's not like we were mixed or anything. It's not like we were on the spectrum of light skin. We weren't. We were just
passing.
Yeah, no,
There
none
was
of
no
that.
passing.
We just sounded like we didn't belong, I guess, and
All right.
that was how that went.
Did that bleed into your adulthood? Like, did that cause a moment of identity crisis that you ever had to go through?
It made me really not want to be around kids.
Because kids are assholes.
Yeah, they are. They're so freaking mean.
Okay.
So it didn't deter me from wanting to be in the South, because I love the South, like every person on any show ever. And, I'm from the South. I'm a Southern girl.
Wow, my Southern heritage.
Southern pride.
Southern pride.
I really enjoy being down there. Everybody is very nice. The food is amazing. Like, the weather is awful in the summertime, but any other time of the year, it's pretty temperate. And
He's going to town. I'm sorry.
He really is getting all up in that booty hole. Good for you, Lulu. So yeah, it didn't stop me from wanting to be down there and experience things. It just made me not want to be around kids, because adults didn't seem to mind how I talked or how I acted or what my proclivities were. They just were like, okay, that's an adult acting child.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, at first I let it bother me, but then I was just like, I don't know, because of my outward appearance, I'm clearly black.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how hard you try to insult me or say, like, I'm an Oreo or a fucking Twinkie. Is that what you said? I've never heard that before.
I think that's more for Asian people.
Wow, kids suck. Anyway, so no matter what you called me, I was still brown on the outside. So I was just like, you're weird. Like, you're really weird. There was a brief moment where like my parents started making fun of me. And that's when I was like, what is wrong with me? Am I doing something bad? And it was because I kept saying like all the time. Mm-hmm. My mom was like, why are you talking like that? Oh my God. And I was like, because it's a word, it's a filler word. Like sometimes I need space between my words and my thoughts. So I say filler words, and like is just really easy for me. She was like, no, you sound like a white girl. And I was like, I'm not. I mean, and no disrespect to white girls. If we got white girls listening, like, you know, be you, white queen. But you know, like, it was said in a negative way.
It's definitely a derogatory statement.
Like it wasn't. It was just like, oh wow, that private school that I'm forcing you to go to is really rubbing off on you. I didn't ask to fucking like.
I think that's why it didn't transfer for me into adulthood until I went to Stevenson. Mm-hmm. I distinctly remember, I'm going to name drop anyway because we don't talk anymore, but I distinctly remember hanging out with Sierra and she was like, why are you talking like that? And I think some of that Baltimore was starting to like mingle in the way that I spoke. And I was like, yeah, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't speak like this. But by the time I started working my first IT job, mm-hmm. I was code switching like a mother. I was
really.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Hi, Rob. How are you doing? What's up, girl? How you doing?
Okay.
And I do that. I did that with my last contract too. Oh, good morning, Darren. How you doing, sir? Hey, girl. Hey, what's up, Keisha? What you doing here? Okay, booty out. Like it was just an easy thing to do, but mm-hmm. I suppose what I got out of that is not feeling like I was put in a box because you grow through private school. Well, with us, we were mostly around white kids, mm-hmm. and there was like a 2% Asian and like 8% Hispanic. But
there was a cluster of color that just stuck in the corner of the cafeteria.
Yep. So we kept to ourselves for mm-hmm. the most part and did our little thing. But yeah, I think that's the only thing that transferred to my adulthood is really code switching. Mm. But at this point, and I think because the universe is starting to be a little more woke about, mm-hmm. hey, if I'm talking like this and you know what the fuck I'm saying, then don't act like I don't have to speak perfect English for you to know what's happening. Exactly. Why don't you use the verbs when you talk? Because I don't need to.
Ooh, you made me think of a story.
Go ahead.
An adult story. Okay, so when I was working at the airport, wow, I completely forgot about this. So there was this guy, mm-hmm. I think we flirted with each other. Like, I wasn't sure. Like, I was kind of intrigued because he was like 6'7", mm-hmm. and I was like, at the time, maybe 4'7". I grew an inch since then. So I
was just doing that. Carry the one.
I was very intrigued, and you know, he was talking to me about a lot of things, and he was interesting. And one time we were texting, and I said something. I said like I spelled out Trina or you know, one of those words.
Trina, finna, something like that.
Wanna, do a, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
I don't even know.
Like, you know, I spelled that out, and he was like, I hate when you talk like that. And I was like, huh? I'm texting. What you mean? He was like, see, that. What you mean? You're an educated girl. Like, speak proper English. And yeah. He pulled that on me. And I was like, oh, I don't think we're friends anymore because I'm offended now. So, fuck you. Like, it literally, I hate when people try to police you, period. Like,
because it'd be different if you... you know, my honey muffin has been here for a very, very long time. So there is rarely any amount of Ebonic slang, AAVE, that he doesn't understand. Mm-hmm. But the only reason I will make it a point to speak in proper English is if I'm talking to somebody whose English is not their first language.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to confuse them. It's already confusing. If you've ever tried to speak in another language, any type of regional accents, that is going to throw you off. So I understand that. I get it. So I will try to speak my most proper Queen's English that I can muster.
Not Queen's English.
But anybody else, I'm like, you know what I'm saying. So why are you doing this?
Why are you being weird?
Because you're not better than anybody because you speak
That's the thing.
anything else. Like, oh, do you want me to stop using contractions too? Like, oh no, nobody's doing that for you. You feel uncomfortable for what? You feel better than somebody for what? I can use less words to say what I need to say than you. I feel elite. Go away. Goodbye.
But like, so code switching to me, like the way I internalize it, it's kind of negative in my mind, the way I think about it.
Okay.
Only because I've been on like the receiving end. Like I've had Black people code switch around me as if I was a white person, and I felt dumb uncomfortable. I was like, why are you talking like this? Like, you're like, girl from Baltimore, used to work with her. She'd be, you know, oh my God, it's so crazy. But then when she'd get on the phone, she'd be like, I don't know who you think you talking to. And I was like, whoa. Whoa. Yeah, so when I was experiencing that, I was just kind of like, it made me question like the whole concept behind code switching and like other people's comfort levels. Like I thought I was making other people feel uncomfortable, and I never want to be that type of person. But that made me think like, okay, is the way I'm speaking or acting like, am I making people feel weird, uncomfortable, or less than? Like, I don't want to be that person to somebody. I don't want to make them feel that way. So code switching in my experience has been really fucking negative because people have done that around me, and I'm just like, why? Be yourself. I don't police people. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
I feel like those are people who haven't gotten the chance to know you, though.
Maybe. I mean,
work code switching is very different than doing it with different friends. Like, I will definitely mix in a little Japanese when I'm talking to my weed friends, my fellow otaku. But when I'm talking to like regular adults, I don't do that because they're just gonna be confused and think I'm weird. And I think most of my, you know, like, oh, you're Black, but you're not Black enough. Now as an adult is not the way that I speak.
Yeah.
Because I just speak however I'm going to speak. I mean, we like a skip and a hop in a trip from Baltimore. So it's just the way that I talk now is just the way that I talk. And sometimes I'm talking to Honey Muffin and he's just like, wow, that's the accent coming in strong. And I'm like, oops. I say stuff and I'm like, yeah, automobile, car. Like, I catch myself and I'm like, oh, that's not weird. What am I doing? Am I from Baltimore? What's happening?
Yes.
But now it's just the alternative Black.
Yeah.
Oh, you like anime? You like that Japanese stuff? Is weird. Oh, you eat sushi? That's weird.
But why? Like, it's not weird. Like, I don't know.
It's just a weird, like, I won't say weird, but I have a compilation of strange characteristics, I'll say. Okay. So I'm like, okay, yes, I'll listen to pretty much whatever sounds good. If that's Japanese metal, it's Japanese metal.
Yeah.
If it's Evanescence from 2003, it's Evanescence. If it's
Blackpink on your radio.
Blackpink in your area.
Oh, in your area, not on your radio.
That's okay. It could be on both. Like, I'm going to listen to whatever I like. It makes me feel good at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe that's Toni Braxton. Maybe that's, I don't know, Michael Bublé. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's what I'm listening to. And the same thing with, like, I like anime. That's a good time for me. Mm-hmm. I don't like Korean dramas. I haven't gotten that far yet. Okay. But I know people who do. So it's just like, let people do what they're going to do without having to label them as something.
Bro, I hate people. Can we get into the topics of us hating people?
No, we got other shit to talk about.
Damn. Okay, you keep me on track.
All right, so like, I think so. We wrap up.
See, this is hard. This is what I told you about segues, Timothy. This is difficult
It's not difficult. You just gotta be like,
in the moment.
but you're a finesse level god. So this is very surprising that you don't segue well because you're a finesser.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we need to apply a certain amount of pressure on me for me to finesse.
Oh.
Like pretend like,
I'm gonna throw that whole banana bread away if you don't segue properly today.
wow, that's crazy.
Is that enough pressure?
The time that it was so crazy where I thought about talking about something else, and that's my attempt at a segue.
Wow, so no banana bread tonight. You ready for that to just go in the trash?
Why would you do that?
You should have probably pressure. That's the only leverage I have. What else am I gonna do? Lock you in your room?
Yes. I don't know.
I think you can get out.
Shit.
You have thumbs.
Not banana bread. It was really good.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that one piece. Anywho, what we were talking about, being the black sheep in the family. So,
Oh yeah, that's funny because black. Okay.
I don't think I felt like the black sheep in the family as opposed to like any amount of whiteness. It's been like around my dad's family, I feel like I'm not knowledgeable enough in country affairs.
Oh yeah.
Because they be like, oh yeah, we gonna go fishing and do, and I'm just like, I'm gonna sit here. I don't know what these things mean.
I mean,
Like, I have no recollection or understanding of that. And then my mom's side of family, they're very... I'm getting better now that I actually like to... I'm starting to find out things that I like to do that the rest of the family does as well. So my big mama, she was really, really big into making these big, big meals. And she had this, like, very famous caramel cake that she would make. And my auntie Annette, bless her heart,
that sounds divine.
she was one of the people who could make it very well, but she passed away a few years ago. My cousin Ronnie, she knows how to make it. And that caramel cake, exquisite. I was like, I can taste the love of my big mama when I eat it. It's so good. So I'm starting to find things where I kind of try to work my way into stuff. But if anybody is just, regular, any side of the family that's like, hey, what you been up to? I've been reading this manga called Black Clover. It's been pretty good. The anime ended a couple years ago. But it's okay. We were waiting for the movie. And honestly, I'm excited for the subtitles because the dub hasn't always hit with me or resonated with me. And they're going to be like, too much. Too much, too soon.
You had to reel it in?
Yeah, so now I just got to be like, oh, well, working and living.
That's very limiting, though.
Paying bills.
Like, you can't really express yourself.
No.
Because you're odd?
Yes. Very, very much so. But I have to admittedly, like, I don't go to a lot of family reunions because I feel like I have to perform when I'm there. And that's not a good time for me. So I will make it my business to say it is, because I think as you get older, there's a little part of you that's just like, hey, I want to spend more time with my family. But when you don't feel accepted by your family because you're alternative or odd, or you don't have the same likes and interests that other people have, you're just not comfortable there. So I'm like, do I want to
be uncomfortable?
Buy plane tickets to be uncomfortable for a weekend when I can be in my own space and be comfortable and actually hang out with people who
accept you and love you? Yeah.
Because I definitely have friends who don't get the anime stuff, and they're just like, all right, get it how you live. And I appreciate that. Like, okay, I may have never met you before, but if you mention Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm going to talk to you, and only you probably in the room for a good 25 minutes.
That's your litmus test.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So I just, there are people who go, oh, wow, this person's really passionate about this. I'm going to try to segue out of this as as gently as I can because now I'm tired of talking about this subject. Or you have people just like, oh, you still watch that kind of stuff? And they're just like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go because I didn't know we were doing like small-minded people things here. Goodbye. But what about you, friend?
Shit. Yeah, I feel like I just think differently than... I don't know. It's just me and my cousins around the same age. We're just different.
Yeah.
On both sides of my family. Like, I cannot relate to boomers. I cannot relate to Gen X. Like, they're just so, no offense, all offense. They're so close-minded. Like, I can't break through that wall. So I feel like my patience has been spent.
Yeah.
Like, the older I get, I am more aware of how different I am and when I'm around my family. I'm more aware of how uncomfortable my family makes me. I'm more aware of how everything I do is heavily criticized. Like, I wore a sweater at my parents' house, and it's a sweater. I didn't design the sweater. It has patches on the elbows. And my dad was like, why are you wearing that white people patch sweater? And I was like, huh? What? Why are you attacking me? What is a white people sweater? That doesn't even fucking make sense. It's just a sweater. I am wearing a sweater and you're criticizing me, but then it's just, they turn it into, oh, you're being too sensitive, blah, blah, blah. No, you're making me uncomfortable. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I'm being too sensitive to be around you, fine. I'm too sensitive to be around you, so I need to leave. I can't be around you. That's what it is now. So, like, and the older I get, the more apparent that is becoming. And so I definitely feel like the black sheep in my family. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be able to tolerate a family reunion at the age that I am now because, I mean, I'm not here for people's bullshit. And I know a lot of things now that I didn't know back then. And so I am very much not with the shits.
It's a lot of me not showing up to certain events is me showing grace.
Yeah.
Because like you said, the information you know about your family sometimes is like, if you want to open this box, we can open it right now. Like, everybody can get mentioned.
But I would have more respect if you just brought it up. Like, you just being like, I don't understand why you act like this towards me. You don't?
You should. I've made it very clear.
You don't know why I don't like you. You don't know why I don't like how you treat somebody else that I love. Come on now. Don't insult my intelligence. Hi, pretty boy.
He's like, I want to see you on the table. I'm going to jump up there.
All right, come on.
Oh, let me rub my face on some things first.
Do what you need to do, homie.
But yeah, I definitely feel that, and I know that if I'm going to hang out with people that don't accept me for all of my quirkiness, that I have to make sure that I provide enough of a space for myself so that if I have to be, like if I choose to, be around people, if I'm going to a family reunion, I'm getting my own transportation, I'm getting my own room. Yep. I am not about to sit here, excuse me, thanks. I'm not about to, sit there and just exist in a space that's upsetting for me. If I don't feel comfortable, if I'm starting to get tired, if my social battery is running out, I love you guys. I'm feeling really tired today. I'm gonna have to go. That's that. But speaking of peeling off in your car,
fucking trash can.
How has your life been going with these gas prices?
Yes, segue.
Thanks. So I hate people.
Okay.
People suck. So earlier in May, some ransomware hacking took place with Colonial Gas Organization and Corporation Association, and all the East Coast got butt fucked. So number one, what I have to say to the hackers, whatever your intent was, That was some privileged bullshit that you pulled. Even if your intention was pure, even if you meant to stick it to the man, you know, what you did affected so many people that rely on gas to fuel their fucking cars. We don't all drive Teslas. How dare you? How dare you?
I can't think that this was done for the betterment of anybody but the hacker, because ransomware is, I'm trying to make some money.
So what I heard was the hackers were going to use the money for charity, but the organizations that they were going to donate the money to, they were like, no, we're not going to accept this dirty money. Like, this is bad. What you're doing is bad. If you could use that skill set to hack into Sally Mae, Greater Lakes Borrowing Company, like, fuck with people's student loans, okay? Okay? Like, don't mess with people's way of transportation, because the gas station up the street, they had to close for a day. That's a black-owned gas station.
And knowing people who work at, gas stations, you don't make that much money.
You don't make that much money.
So especially when it's closed, I mean, people aren't coming to buy gas. And if they're not going there for gas, they're most likely not going there for their lottery tickets, cinnamon rolls, coffee, whatever.
Exactly.
But I only filled up once during that whole gas shortage shenanigan. And I wasn't bothered because I don't like to leave my house anyway. So it didn't really bother me. It just seemed like wow, people are being stupid again.
People are being stupid again, just like they were at the beginning of the pandemic. We're hopefully rounding a corner towards the end, hopefully. And they decided, hey, let's not stop being stupid.
Yeah, there are new ways for us to be more stupid. Let's do it. Let's do it before the summer starts. Let's start off the summer being as dumb as possible.
Let's panic buy all the gas. Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. People fucking suck.
Yes. And speaking of sucking, because there's so much sucking going around.
Let's hit our government and then foreign government.
Yeah. Okay. So, all the governments suck right now.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I left my job. Anyway, so I was scriggity scrolling on my IG, and I usually just follow food places, local businesses, fitness people, all black people, because I love black people. But I follow some blickety black people,
some woke hotep type. Okay.
Some very good looking ones too. Bless your beard, baby. Anyway. What I saw was like a snapshot from the Shade Room where it said that Joe Biden has signed this Asian hate bill. So President Joe Biden signed a bill addressing the increase in Asian hate crimes linked to COVID-19. The legislation would assign an official in the Justice Department to review and expedite all reports of hate crimes related to coronavirus. And it was weird because I was like, didn't he just sign a bill getting rid of menthols? I'm like, you take it away from the black community, but you, like, and this is not like if Asian people are being protected, like, stop protecting them and help the black people. I love Asian people.
Yeah.
My Elizabeth Warren, I'm 2% Asian, 2% Indian out here. Okay? But he did this in like 6 months.
Yeah.
So the fact that he hasn't done what he needed to do for the black community, which, let me remind you, you're not black if you didn't vote for him.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, Joseph.
Joseph said that. Joseph said, you're not black if you don't vote for me. And he won the presidency. There has not been any legislative action
to assist the black community to correct any of the high rates of incarceration, for the police brutality. There are so many big issues right now.
Okay. And let me just break this down for the audience, because I know, like, a lot of people of different backgrounds, all three people listen to this show. So, Black liberation, one, is so important because once that happens, everybody gets liberated. Anti-blackness is so heavily ingrained in every part of our government and how people are treated and how people are abused and abused by the system, right? So when we talk about black liberation, like, yes, it's very black specific, but it will ripple effect to every corner of the globe.
That's increasing the strength of the economy.
Yes.
That's increasing the state of living in communities.
Yes.
It sounds so cliche, but and this is actually, I think, kind of biblical as well, but when the least of us is doing better, everybody gets a level up.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yes, do we want Asian people to be protected? Yes. We want Asian people to be protected. We want queer people to be protected. We want black people to be protected. We want everybody to be protected.
Yes.
But this singling out of like, oh, you know what? The Asian demographic is a demographic of people that we like more, or that is more of, the quote unquote good immigrant. We're going to help them.
I feel like this will get taken the wrong way, but like, you have to understand how just blatant and in our face it is that we are excluded out of every equality conversation ever. And it's so frustrating. It's just like, how many protests for police brutality do we have to, peaceful protests? Like, what more do we have to do to have accountability in our police forces? What more do we have to ask for? Very bare minimum, because when that happens, then you won't have, unarmed white people getting gunned down by the police either. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because it's not just I think it affects black people more than any other people group. But this is a problem across the board. This has affected white kids, black kids, Asian kids, Hispanic kids. It's not just us. So when it feels like we're not getting, solidarity in this fight that seems to be only our fight, it's not.
It's not. And it's just very strange, and you don't know. Like, I think it's important. I think you need to have it, but I also feel like it was a slight slap in the face, because it's just like, when can we get something like some type of hate crime? Like, you really got to break it down in American history language. And much this country hasn't.
And I don't think we've had anything for
no reparations.
Like, I don't think we've had any major legislation happen since the 60s.
I mean, they are still
like the Breonna law and all these little things that are going, like, these are state laws, correct?
Yes.
They're not federal.
They're still in Congress. They are not passing federal legislation that will directly impact racial inequality. And it's weird. It's gross. It's kind of like, why are you guys so afraid to tackle this?
Yeah.
Like, nobody is willing to do anything about this, but, other groups will have their own type of legislation that'll get passed very easily. I feel like every police shooting should go through the DOJ, should be investigated by the DOJ. But, that's asking for too much. But then,
in like a specifics, like, let me read that one more time for you guys. The legislation would assign an official in the Justice Department to review and expedite all reports of hate crimes related to COVID. So it's not even that we're just going, hey, we're going to look at this and see. There is a space being created specifically for this issue that has not been going on for very long, that will probably stop once COVID is, in check, which hopefully is very soon. People are still wilding right now. Probably going to get a wave 67 soon, but whatever.
And to clarify, fuck all those people that are attacking Asian people just because they're Asian.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
That's not,
and it's like read a book, do some research,
educate yourself.
Because it's just ignorant. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, and it breaks my heart. It's like on par with the, people who were Arab and Muslim who were getting attacked because, you and 9. It breaks my heart because you don't even know, like, these are elderly people that are getting beat up. Like, these are mobs of people beating up elderly Asian people.
It's fucking trash.
And that absolutely needs to stop. And it needs to be a hate crime. It needs to be processed expeditiously. But so are these other things that happen.
How long has police brutality against Black people been disproportionately a black issue in this country.
Like, Rodney King was the first thing I remember learning about in regards to police brutality.
And from there, how many more hashtags have there been?
So many video evidence, eyewitness accounts, families that are missing husbands, children. It's heartbreaking, because even after that small victory we got with the David, whatever his name, case. What's his name? David
Oh, Chauvin.
Yeah.
Derek Chauvin.
Darren Dookie. That dude.
Yeah. He's about to start appealing like hell.
We couldn't even relax because the very next day it was another hashtag. It was somebody else who had lost their life. So yes, are we happy that our Asian brothers and sisters in the Asian community has legislation to try to at least prosecute the people who are, violating their communities, violating their safety, assaulting them? Yes, of course we are. I love the Asian community.
But there is still not a lynching bill passed through Congress. And
lynchings are still happening.
Lynchings are still happening. And I encourage everybody to watch The United States versus Billie Holiday. Girl. Strange Fruit.
I couldn't.
I mean, it is a very sad film, but like...
If you have the stomach and the emotional stamina to get through it, there are a lot of quote unquote black stories on Hulu that really show you
this country ain't shit.
And it's not gotten better.
Really? I mean, there are strides that we've taken. That was a huge bird that just flew by. Wow.
I'm glad it didn't fly into the window.
There are strides that we've had as generations go by, but I don't think it's unfair for us to say, hey, this is unacceptable. Because the reason why I brought up that film was there were, informational slides at the end of the movie, and it literally says, to this day, in 2021 or 2020, whenever the movie came out, Congress still hasn't been able to pass an anti-lynching bill or make it like a hate crime or something like that. And I'm just like, how many congressional... We are on, our 137th?
And it's interesting because we still see every once in a while, which I think they passed some kind of law, I think it was state, because Emmett Till's grave marker was still being vandalized. It was being shot. It was being all this other stuff.
Disgusting.
And I'm like, okay, you can pass a law to try to keep this grave marker safe, but we're asking you to protect the people that are alive.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to keep having memorials and grave markers for people who lost their lives and got no justice. It's really sickening and it's really upsetting, but hey, that's just for us here in America, our local stuff. You wanna...
Yeah, speaking of justice, y'all. All right, so boom. I mean, if this episode pissed people off, so be it. But what is happening in Israel and Palestine right now is remarkably sad. I implore everybody to educate yourself on the situation happening, and be wary of a lot of the misinformation that's going around. There is a lot of Jewish-Muslim solidarity between both communities, and I think for the first time ever, we are seeing, maybe it's a generational shift, but we are seeing a lot of people stand up for Palestine. What they have been experiencing for years has been remarkable. I mean, it's been genocide. It's been apartheid. It's been all the Ides. It's really, really fucked up what's going on over there. And the fact that for years, my personal experience, I was afraid to talk about it. I did not want to be perceived as an anti-Semite. So I was okay with staying in the dark. I was like, that's far away from here. That's none of my business. I'm not going to speak on that. But that is such a very dark and ignorant place to remain in, especially when I have Muslim friends that, have family in that area that are being attacked, that are being told they need to leave their family home just because, you know, that was wrong of me to not say shit about that. So I've been doing a lot of self-educating. I've been, you know, asking people for resources and just doing the most I can to learn about what's going on. It's not a conflict. Like the media tries to call it a conflict. It's not a conflict. It is genocide that is happening right now. There are ways to get involved and stay educated. My advice to everybody is to just educate yourself. Educate yourself with information that is trustworthy and not skewed or biased. And I know that's hard to find.
Go to a .org or .gov.
Or even some of these
.edu.
TikTokers. Some of these TikTokers be educating the masses.
So, yeah, if you're going to a .com or getting everything from social media, I would be a little wary, especially if it's Facebook. Facebook does have algorithms where they do alter what you can and cannot see. So just be careful with that. But, yeah.
Don't remain in your echo chamber.
Yes.
Expand your mind.
Break out that bitch.
Break out. And speaking of breaking out.
So... Actually, before we...
What? Okay.
Before we get to some things about breakout. So, we want y'all to take action, right? So, what I saw the other day, which is very interesting to me. Now, I've just been fully onboarded to the company that I now work for full time. The last 5 months, I've been a contract to hire. So now I am fully hired. Woo woo, go me.
Boom, boom.
But what was interesting is I got an email after they finally set my stuff up about Mental Health Action Day. And I also saw some Snap what filters? Tags? What they call them? Whatever they call them.
Yeah, snap tags, snap filters.
Them things.
Geotags,
Yes.
geofilters, yeah.
About it too. And I was like, I've never heard of this Mental Health Action Day. And I've been a proponent for mental health ever since I got depressed. So that was like 3-4 years ago. So I was like, what the heck is this? But I got an email in my email box. Thursday, May 20th was Mental Health Action Day, and basically encourages you to you know, take action on your mental health and empower some people to, you know, either do research on, you know, mental health issues or ways that they can assist people who have mental health illnesses, whatever.
Or do a self-care day.
Yes. So I was just like, oh, this is pretty nifty. Like, this is cute or whatever. Because I had never seen that before. I wish they would just give more mental health vacation days because that's what I need. I'm just like, you're doing this on a Thursday where I have to work? Why is this not an off day?
That would be good for my mental health if you give me the day off.
Yeah, like Mental Health Action Day. You take the whole day off and you tell us on Friday what actions you took.
Yeah.
Self-care, I slept all day.
Paid time off. PTO. Like,
that's what I want.
I don't understand. I mean, I guess at least you can say they're trying.
It just feels like it's play. Like, it's nice to get, you know, that...
It's like commercialized pride, commercializing mental health.
It's like you get seen, so you feel a little bit better because you feel like you're being represented in a certain sense. But at the same time, it's like, okay, the things that would actually help the situation is not having to be at work. Give people a half day, maybe not even the whole day off.
Or National Telework Day and no emails. National Don't Send Anybody an Email Day.
Like, these are things I would approve and I would appreciate.
Exactly, because y'all stress me out.
And I definitely did my paperwork so that I put that I have a disability or whatever.
Oh, you did? I hide that.
What? Oh, you're field. That makes you feel weird.
Yeah.
I need you to know so when I flip out later, you can't be like, you didn't tell us we're firing you because what? Because what? It better not be from my MDD. I know it's not from my MDD because I'm easily triggered.
Major depression with mixed features?
Yup.
Got you.
Major depressive disorder with mixed features. So I just thought that was nifty. I mean, I know all of May is mental health awareness, which is great. I still think it flies under the radar pretty often. I do think that I see more commercials and such for it, but I think those commercials are really just catered to us because we look at these apps and we look at this information. But hey, if you got like a little notice, especially if it's from your job, you know, count that little checkbox as at least they see something. If you didn't, hit your HR up. Hit your HR up and go, hey, I think it would be very interesting if you guys would highlight Mental Health Action Day.
You're funny. You assume HR checks their emails.
Don't care. Don't care. Do your little business and just mention it because you never know what, you know. Mm-hmm. I know I follow a girl on Facebook who just switched from being a teacher to HR, and the amount of things that she was able to, and granted has no background history in HR, has no degree in HR or anything like that, but she's been able to get a lot of things accomplished. And especially if you're at a small business or you have, you know, a good rapport with HR or at least a good rapport with other people in your office, you never know. You could start something really, really good. People do hold a lot of value and weight to people who are well liked in their office. So they will actually try to do something. Maybe that's just donuts. Yeah. Maybe that's just a little card everybody gets saying, hey, I hope you have a mentally healthy day, whatever. Because that could be the difference between somebody going home and feeling seen or not. Makes a big difference.
Definitely thought about doing that with my job now. But I'm starting to not care about being liked. I'm just showing up for my check. Y'all know why I'm here. Good luck. Because I'm just annoyed with, you know, the position that I'm in, the space that I'm in right now. So, I don't know. Hopefully I get some of that positive juju back into my bloodstream, maybe after the panorama.
One day.
But right now, it's not there. I mean, it would have been nice to at least get an email, but I know that the legal field is heartless. Nobody really cares. And when they do care, there's an ulterior motive behind their caring. So I just don't trust people. And that is the life of a cynic. Hey.
That's not me, guys. I have hope and stuff.
That's crazy, because I have hope. You don't.
Not in your workplace.
Not in my workplace, no. But in the cloud, I hope for.
That's why we're twins. We complete each other in different areas of our lives. I hope at work. And if I don't see the hope, I make it. Hey, what are you doing today? Oh, nothing. Just celebrating Mental Health Action Day. I have major depressive disorder. Today I'm taking action to love myself. Might take half the day off. What are you doing today? Timesheets? Cool. That's great.
It's a positive attitude. I love it.
Hey, sometimes because people think you're always funny anyway, you can just say whatever the hell you want. They're just going to be like, that sure day is so funny.
I want you to take me seriously.
I've given up on that.
Am I a joke to you?
Yep. I've given up. Put on my little clown makeup and go to work. I do my 8 and skate.
8 and skate.
Yep.
Trash. All right. Last thing I want to touch on. These motherfucking masks. Bro.
Mask up.
So the CDC, the Controlled Dangerous Substance Organization, that's not Center for Disease and Stupidity. I don't know what they do anymore.
Center Dummies. Care for Dummies collectively.
Cool.
Can't.
Dope.
Dumbify. Switching.
All right. I made it in my mind. I was like, as soon as the CDC says there's no more pandemic, that's when I'm going to be out here in these streets, like real heavy. But then they decided to get rid of the mask mandate for vaccinated people. Here is my sole problem with that.
What's your sole problem? Come on, tell us.
Why now? After over a year of bullshit, are we relying on the honor system and just assuming people are getting vaccinated? Why now? Why would we do that right now?
Because we're running out of money.
America's ghetto. I'm tired.
So trailer park.
I'm exhausted with just the and there was joy. President Joseph Biden Instagrammed with glee. What a beautiful day for America. We can finally take off our mask. But it's like, bro, why are we... Sorry, I'm shaking the table because I'm so passionate about this. I don't understand why now we are leaving it up to people to do the right thing. At this point, we have made so much progress within the first 200 or 100 or so days of this new presidency with getting people vaccinated. Like, you can get vaccinated now. There's no wait list. There's no nothing. Like, they are taking walk-ups now. That's beautiful. If the last jackass was still in office, I don't think we would be where we are right now.
No, because it's not even real. And he survived it, so he's fine.
He survived it and got vaccinated in secret and had access to
the best medical care.
The best medical care not even money could buy. That's straight position.
He's fine. So I don't understand why you upset or whatever.
It's just so frustrating, bro. Maybe it's because I have a lot of family in the medical field. Maybe it's because I've had people 2 degrees away from me literally die from this fucking virus. Decease because of a virus, okay? I'm so passionate about this. Like, I just don't understand. If we just would have been more vigilant last year, over 500,000 people wouldn't have died. Mm-hmm. Like, did we hit 1 million? We probably hit the 1 million mark.
Oh, yeah, we definitely did. I think New York by itself pretty much got that covered.
But, like, that is insane. That is terrifying. Like, this is my first pandemic that I've lived through. Shout out to the higher power for keeping me safe. Amen. But it's scary. It's scary, and it was disappointing that people just didn't care. And now the CDC... And I'm going to call Dr. Fauci, too. They're on some bullshit where they're just like, oh, we just have to trust that people are going to do the right thing. Why? They weren't doing the right thing when we were ordered to stay home. They were still having pandemic parties in LA. What the fuck? Why are we assuming that we can just let people, especially American people, do the right thing? Y'all don't make no goddamn sense to me. You talk about small government and you not wanting interference, but at the same time, y'all were begging for stimulus checks? Because you couldn't pay. You want fucking rent forgiveness? Because you couldn't pay? But you want small government. You don't think the government should be making decisions for you. Right.
Yeah, so,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're very passionate.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if we just would have held steady for a solid 4 months, like united front, we would have been like New Zealand.
I mean, like, I shouldn't add fuel to this fire, but you had told me that you read an article about some Yankees.
So, okay, another thing about this mask problem that I have. See, you get me fired up. All right, so boom, 6 Yankees players, or 6 or 7, something like that, fully vaccinated. They got that 2-vax shot, not that limited edition shot.
I got that one. It was good.
So they got that 97% efficacy, right? They caught COVID. Y'all don't understand how vaccines fucking work, and it really pisses me off, bro. The point of the vaccine, hear me real quick. The point of the vaccine is to make sure that you don't die. But that doesn't mean you won't catch the virus.
That also doesn't mean that you won't do irreparable damage to your body.
We don't know the long-term effects of COVID. I mean, we are still... shout out to the people that are surviving it and living through it, and they're cool now. But, like, we don't know what damage the virus has done. So taking these chances... It seems so premature to me, and maybe I'm being too cautious, whatever. Maybe I'm just like, oh, you're just a scary bitch. Fine. Fine. Yes, I'm scared of COVID. I have asthma. Like I don't want to deal with a virus that damages my lungs.
I just don't want to get it at all. So, I mean, like, I went to the gym Tuesday, and I was in there working out, doing my lifting and stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that girl ain't got no mask on. Why this girl ain't got no mask on? So while I'm trying to, debate whether I'm about to snitch or not, I finished my workout. She was still there. I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the front desk. I'm telling everybody. And then I saw the little stand there, and it said optional. And I was like, oh, not in my Gold's gym. But yeah, they just made it optional. And then when I went to take my car to the collision place so they can look at the damage, nobody in there had a mask on. Which, have I stopped wearing my mask in the gym if I'm doing cardio? Yes. I put that on until I stop being able to breathe, and then I take that off, and I'd be like, but I wash my hands. I usually 9 out of 10 will wear my mask out unless it fell out the thing and it fell on the floor, and then I'm not putting that back on my face. But in places like the gym, in places that are heavily populated, in places that I haven't been to and don't look clean, I'm keeping my mask on. What I'm waiting for is for people to be like start banning them.
Banning mask?
Because I feel like it's going to get
to
the point where the CDC is going to be like, nobody needs to wear masks anymore, and then businesses are going to be like, no, you can't come in here with a mask.
Listen. That's
what I think is going to happen maybe in the next year or so, and I'm going to be upset because I should be like, you go to Asian countries, if they're sick, if they have a cold, if they have a mask, they just wear a mask so other people don't catch what they have. So why is that such an issue here?
I caught an upper respiratory infection my first year living with you. I bought masks before I knew what the Lord had in store for us.
Yeah.
I bought a box of masks.
It was great because there was a shortage.
There was
just a month later.
And I was like, wow, that's incredible. How crazy life is. Like, I'm wearing a mask because I don't want to get you sick. Just the very bare minimum of consideration just with having somebody you live with. But then, lo and behold, the rest of the world, they could give a fuck less if you die right in the... Oh, my last job. They wanted me to die in the middle of that courthouse. I swear they did not care about us at all. They didn't care about our health. They didn't care about anybody else's health. They were just like, what? It's just the flu. It doesn't matter. How many people caught it?
Yeah, and how many people died?
In the population of employees at that place that I worked at, the age average was...
that demographic where you was gonna die.
It was not in the stars for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was incredible. It was incredible and disappointing. I'm constantly disappointed by humanity. The CDC can tell me to smoke crack, and I probably wouldn't do it. So,
the CDC also told us not to wash our chicken, so they lost credibility a long time ago. But I don't know. Y'all let us know am I eager to not have to wear a mask? Yes.
It is hot.
But if I feel more comfortable wearing it because I don't want to catch a virus that will destroy my lungs,
airborne virus.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just be careful. It's better to be safe than sorry, because I don't want to be sorry, because sometimes when you sorry, you dead.
Yeah, I'm not even.
And you can't even be dead when you're sorry, because you dead. You just dead.
I'm gonna haunt everybody. I'm gonna be like, oh, I caught the COVID. And
I'm haunting the CDC. I'm going straight to the source. Boogity boogity.
Okay. I think that wraps up everything I was pissed about.
Yeah, you need to go take a nap.
I need to eat a Snickers.
Yeah.
A dairy-free Snickers.
A peanut-free Snickers. You know what? Just eat some chocolate chips. Just get a handful eat some banana bread. You're not yourself when you don't have banana bread.
I want this world to be a better place for the children that I'm afraid to have.
Sorry to hear that.
I just want betterness.
You should just pass away right now then, because I don't know where you expect that to happen. Oh, You're funny.
Oh my God.
All right. But like, okay, so this was kind of heavy a little bit because we got mad about stuff. But
And we've been gone for like 3 months.
yeah, we had a lot to say. But like, guess what? Guess what we're talking about next week, guys?
Guess what?
Animation therapy. So we're going to talk about cartoons.
Yeah, we're going to be like interviewing each other about our favorite cartoons. And then we're going to come together and talk about Avatar The Last Airbender.
Yerp. Which I saw some... I'm going to save it.
You saw some stuff? You saw some notes?
I did. I saw some stuff, but I was just like, I still don't know how I feel about this Netflix live action adaptation. But I saw some news like little trickle out because, you know, I be following the pages. I be saying like, this is the latest and the greatest. But yeah, we're going to say that for next time. So we have a series lined up of some shows that we both appreciate, some shows that we've shared, some highs and some lows and some
anime, some Steven Universe queer shit.
Some Rick and Morty. Like, we've had some animation that got us through some dark times.
Because it's a good escape.
Yes.
It's a good escape.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. So check in with us next week.
Yeah.
For our animation therapy.
And remember,
life's a bitch. We're back to that. Life is a bitch.
That doesn't want to wear a mask.
Life is a bitch that doesn't want to wear a mask. And
you know isn't vaccinated.
You know what? Life is grown. Life is going to do what life wants to do. And life can do that over there. Let life be over there. And you do what you need to do to stay healthy over here. Amen.
Remember, guys. Love yourself.
Love each other.
I don't remember what else we'd be saying.
Love yourself. Love each other.
And continue to be that beautiful little galaxy you are.
Yeah, and continue to be that beautiful little galaxy you are. Don't be a trash can.
Yeah, don't be like a black hole.
We got enough of this.
Yeah, don't be like a asteroid field.
A meteor shower.
Yeah, don't be any of those things. It just fucks up satellites and whatnot.
Remember the devil's anus in Ragnarok? Don't be the devil's anus.
Yeah, don't be that either.
Yeah, that little portal, that was really rough. Don't be that.
Be like a moon or something. Be like a star.
Be a shining, beautiful little galaxy.
Yeah.
And don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be like a constellation dick. I'm sure there's some out there. Dickscalation. Don't be like that.
Alrighty.
Okay, bye guys. Love you. Bye.